Hello, everybody. Dorothy here. Thanks for joining me. We are going to talk about the full moon in Sagittarius. I mean, I love this kind of energy because, to me, Sag is so much fun and it's fiery, it's dynamic. We get to, really play and enjoy life and experience life. So we're going to talk about that. I'm also going to talk about the other lunar events that are linked to this one. So you can get out your pen and paper, whatever, and write out these dates. I'm going to talk about the lunar gestation phase. If you haven't heard about that, stay tuned. We're going to talk about that right now. No intro music. I don't have any of that. Here we are. Let me get my face out of the way. This is today. Not today, but this is the full moon in Sag. It is on June 14th. Here in the east coast of the US, it's at 7:52 in the morning. Now, the moon, when it does get to the horizon, is going to be rising very low in the sky. So look southeast, and you're going to want to go check this out. Hopefully the weather is nice so you can get a really clear view, whether you're at the ocean or just, away from trees. Where I live now, I actually have to go somewhere now. I can't, there's too many trees. Not too many trees to see the moon rise. So I just have to drive somewhere. I hope you do too, because this is a super moon. And what is that? It was just a phrase that was coined by astronomers. Oh, geez, I think in the 1980s. And it's just when the moon moves between, around us. When it's a full moon, it happens to just be really close to the earth. It's a lot of miles there still, but it gets really close. And so when it does come to the surface, to the horizon, if you will, when you get to see it, you're going to really get to see it. It is absolutely huge, and it creates a bigger pull and a stronger pull on the planet, creating super high tides, super low tides, just for, within a 24-hour period. And so what does that mean? It means we're also going to have a sense of emotions and feelings. The full moon we have in July will be the same way. It'll be in Capricorn, so that'll be an earthy one. This full moon, as you can see here, is in Sagittarius, and with it in the sign of Sagittarius, again, a fire sign, a lot more emotion is hanging out and showing up. So when the full moon's in Sag, and these other lunar phases I'm going to talk about are also at the same area in Sagittarius, what happens with Sag? We are being made aware of, full moons bring us a sense of awareness and understanding, especially things we've been working on either for the last couple of weeks since this most recent new moon or 18 months ago. I'll give you that date in a minute. And so the full moon represents dynamic of relationships. What am I being made aware of, whether it comes through an individual, through a news source, or whatever, right? It varies. I'm sorry, I didn't have myself on. It just varies from person to person how we're feeling this. So when we are in that full moon phase, everything is being shown to us that we need to know. And when things are being shown to us, it could very well be that we have way too much going on and we need to let some things go. And that's what the energy of this truly does represent. We do have a T-square here. This is mutable energy, so it's very changeable, very dynamic. The sun in Gemini, the moon in Sagittarius, and we just so happen to have Neptune in there. We add some water to this mix of air and fire. So to me, this represents, a deeper sense of emotion. So pay attention to what's going on there in that regard. All right, I'm going to go to the next screen. Hopefully this shifts with me. I'm going to double check that I have that lunar eclipse up. It sure looks like it. Sometimes it's hard to tell what I'm sharing. Yes, I am sharing that. Okay. So why do I have this chart up? This is a new moon solar eclipse that we had on December 14th, 2020. Yep, I said 18 months ago. What were you initiating then? This is why new moon forecasts are so important. New moon forecasts, they are important. But this is why, what I meant to say, this is why new moon rituals and goal setting is so important, because it's something that we carry for a long time. It's a whole 3-year cycle. It'll be 3 years before we come back to a new moon in Sag that's close to this degree. And so I'm focusing on this because of June 14th full moon. Back here on December 14th, 2020, this was also a new moon, also a solar eclipse. What do you initiate? What were you starting in the same qualities that we've already been talking about? What are those qualities again? Those qualities are Sagittarius qualities. What were you focusing on as far as you needing more optimism in your life, or you needed more adventure and fun and freedom, or you wanted to learn something new? What goals were you setting in those categories? Maybe there is even some here that, expanding the way you think, or, really exploring a new culture. What was going on back then? I mean, of course, at the new moon, December of 2020, we were like halfway through still this pandemic. And, but what did that look like to you? What was going on for you? We are seeing life very differently now. I know I am. Who wouldn't be? And I hope you were too. So what did you believe? This was a big sense of freedom. Sag is all about freedom and information, content that, really means something to you. And so I would look at this and ask, it's like, were you really feeling the squeeze of the restrictions that we were all on? And, you would set goals, even if it's not officially setting goals, you're like, I need to get back out there. I need to socialize. I need to be a Sag. I need to play. I need to have fun. I need to travel. And hopefully you would have gotten to that by now. So that was 18 months ago. Now, 9 months after that, we come to this first quarter moon, which was September 2021. And the moon is at the similar area. It's at 21 Sag. The new moon was 23 Sag. They're not going to be in the same houses because it's different times of day. Here is the square. Now, when we get to this first quarter, some books will call it the second quarter, but that first quarter relating to the new moon in December of 2020 is a turning point when the sun and the moon make a square. So lots of times there's a fair amount of stress and struggle at this point in the lunar gestation phase. So there's a lot of activity that is happening. So we're taking charge of our lives. We're taking charge of what's important to us and finding the courage to meet the challenges and to do what we need to do to make things work for us. This happens at every first quarter, every single month. But this one, I'm just giving you a longer time frame than we usually have with just looking at, the monthly lunar cycle. All right. And then we're back to here, back to now. Here's June 14th, full moon in Sag. Fire, excitement, what has accumulated or culminated at this point in time that you did start 18 months ago in December of 2020. You could see what was happening in September of 2021 and working towards it. Not many people work with these quarter moons. But they're very important because 9 months to me, that's why they're called the lunar gestation phase. That's Dietrich Pessen's work, by the way, if you want to know. If you want to know about it, email me and I can tell you how to get her content. That will help you to research this for yourself if you like. It's a fascinating system. I absolutely love and adore it. I love working with it. I like to see, because I'm telling you, life does not always fit into a 28.5-day cycle. So when she discovered this years ago and has wrote a book about it. It's fantastic. Let me know and I will help you out with that. So so just starting with that new moon every single month, we are starting a long 3-year cycle. Every new moon isn't going to be something. I mean, it really isn't. However, when we look at these 4 quarters, it is super important. New moon first quarter, full moon last quarter, right? And the last quarter for this June full moon in a couple of days is in 9 months. So that's what we have there. I think I'm going to leave us with that. I'll stop our share. Yeah, I think I will leave us with that. I don't think I had my face up there very much, but that's okay. how are you going to use this? You know, I moved, a lot of you know that, a few months ago. I finally found a place like 4 days before I was out of my lease. And so the universe is just amazing. Let me tell you, I felt very displaced being pushed out of my hometown because prices are absolutely just ridiculous and everybody's taking advantage of it who rent. They do. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. So I felt very, very displaced about it. But I was also incredibly grateful that I found a wonderful place to live. It's a half hour from the seacoast. It's cheaper and I have more space. It's just like, I don't know how that even happened. It was freaking amazing. But then I met a lady across the street, across the parking lot, and, I'm in a complex of sorts. And her Jupiter conjuncts my sun. Jupiter is rules Sagittarius. I've always wanted to kayak. Some of you know this who know me regular. She has one. It rides around in her Subaru. So it was just unintentionally, she inspired me to go get one. And because I've been wanting one for years, and I did. I would not have done this if I stayed on the seacoast because there's no places very close to kayak. I don't want to kayak on the ocean. I don't like that. I love the ocean from the land. I'm a land lover. So respect. So I never would have done this. I've been wanting to do it for years, my home forever. So I did. And where I live, within 7 miles, there are 3, one's 4 miles away, one's 6 miles, one's 7. There are 3 ponds that I can go and play in. This is how the full moon in Sag, even though I did this a couple of weeks ago, but this is how the Sagittarius is showing up in my own life, where I'm actually doing some adventures that I wanted to do. I'm taking some action. That's the moon in Sag. And again, I know we don't have the full moon until the 14th, but it doesn't matter. A person who has a Jupiter ruling Sag connect directly to my sun in Gemini, my 19 degrees, and it's exact. And it's just fantastic. The universe works in mysterious ways. Sometimes when things feel like it's going to be the worst thing ever, it works out way to your advantage. And so have faith, especially if you're finding yourself in some difficult times. We can look at the astrology and see, even though I knew things were going to work out the way they were supposed to, just like you, I was really distraught. I didn't sleep for quite a while. It was terrible, but I'm on the other side of it, and yay. So Sag up, go have some fun, find a friend to play with, go watch a comedian, just enjoy this time right now while we have it. All right. Okay. Oh, I don't want to sound all philosophical now, but that's very Sag. So why wouldn't I? My Jupiter's in Sag. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And hey, folks here on YouTube. Yeah. I don't know. Give this a share. Share this, please. Thumbs up. Thank you. Namaste.